things like anxiety and depression, they have clinical imbalances. And sometimes we have to reach for things that we may not want to reach for to help us get to a brighter light. Give it blessings and thanks. Because as you raise the dimmer switch, and as you can see, sense, and feel things more clearly, perhaps then you can learn to retrain the brain, retrain the systems associated with that by changing behavior, thought pattern, and intention. And then perhaps some of those tools that may have assisted you won't be so prevalent. They could dissipate a little bit because you're recreating and creating new trained ways of being and doing. Now, there's also something I call self-created anxiety, created depression. And it becomes part of somebody's responses and reactions to life in general. And it's generally a learned thing versus clinical imbalance. They're very different. Pay attention to how it is that you're reacting and responding to things. Are you acting like a parent? Are you acting like somebody in your life that influenced you? So that's going to come into the category of wounded child. It's also going to come into the category that I get attention when I act like that. Again, going back to wounded child, self-developed behavioral expressions of oneself through childhood drama and trauma. And just the influences. Perhaps you admired the way someone did things, but you had no idea that you were picking up their mannerisms. So then we come to today, November 9th, and everyone had a lot of trepidation coming up on full moon eclipse and a lot of trepidation coming up on the voting here in the U.S. Because why? A lot of people reached out themselves for predictive information, so they built up this dam of anxiety or depression over what's a coming versus living in the now moment. So when we create this anxiety, depression, and all those feelings in between, we are literally allowing a void come between our light. So it comes between, like the eclipse did. The earth came directly in line between the sun and the moon, creating a shadow and a darkness. But what happens? It comes out of that. And this happens every single day with the moon and the sun and the earth. And it happens every single day that situational things will occur that will present. And now you will be mindful. You will set your intention and give consent to this intention. Jump right into it. And catch yourself when old patterns are coming up for responses and reactions to anything. So, if you went to vote yesterday, let it go. Don't keep watching. Oh, is it more red, more blue, more red? What is it? Oh dear, oh dear. Your vote counted regardless. Your vote counted regardless. Don't hang on to that to see if you're the winner. Therefore, you voted for the right team. And then don't feel that kerplunk when, oh dear, I voted here and this person, this team won. Let go of that and know that you did your rightful duty of whatever that is. I don't know if you want to call it a duty, but you did your due diligence and you pushed some buttons or you filled in some spaces. Let it go. Let it go to Prime Source Creator. Let it go that everything is in divine timing. It's called trust. And when you trust, you release the control. A lot of anxiety and depression is controlling something. You're either wanting to dim the light and hide from it, or you want to have so much trepidation and you're still not quite seeing through it. Because this void and this darkness that gets created from this self-inflicted anxiety and depression situational that gets created, you've given consent for it to bring space between you and your light. You're creating your own anxiety, depressional eclipse, and you're not letting go of it. Make sense? May not be you personally that's listening to this, but you know people that have a tendency to fall into this type of category. All of it wreaks havoc on the physical, mental, spiritual, etheric, emotional bodies. Huge havoc. And over time, you're short-circuiting. And it's very difficult to come back. Till you stop, drop, sit, become aware, make the intention to change thyself by paying attention to thyself and knowing thyself. You can course correct if you choose to. So before our thoughts come out of this, creating maybe some angst or anxiety or some downing for others, think before you contribute to that cloud of density. Think before you contribute. This all also falls into parasitic stuff. And that's a whole other topic, my guide just said. It's a whole other topic. Take today in your spiritual athletic practice to pay attention what you see, sense, and feel. And is it a desired see, sense, and feel? And at the end of the day, you're going to feel like you had great outcome from whatever you're see, sensing, and feeling. If it's a repeat pattern of some stuff that just doesn't serve you and you need to get this day over with or redo a lot of things, then I suggest you take this moment to clue yourself in to how you'd like to be and make the deliberate, conscious intention to work through those thoughts that create emotional feeling. Emotional feeling creates thoughts. Tap into those things. See if you can self-correct your dimmer switch, your power source. See if you can change up what's happening in that moment. Maybe a break, it may be some sunlight, maybe a lot of different things, but a deliberate change in thought. And over time, you'll connect to a different energy, and that energy will dissipate and be dissolved. Because you have the choice to cancel, alt, delete. You do. You do. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You create a circumstance of responsiveness instead of a reactive old pattern that may feel heavy and dense. That's really wreaking a lot of havoc on everything that you are and that you don't want to be. Oh, my mom was like that. My dad was like that. Stop the nonsense. Excuse me. Stop the nonsense. Get off this old patterning. Change. You can do it. You can do it. If you'd like to work with me on it, I'm happy to help. embodimentofthesoul.com. But don't let yesterday's BS follow you into today's, creating a new mess of the same stuff. And the pile gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You can undo that pile. I can help. I promise you. But you have to be willing and able and be a participant in the exchange of energy. All right? Please like, subscribe, and share. Please take a moment to comment. I always appreciate them. And have a wonderful day changing some of your thoughts, your feelings, and your sense and responses. All right? Much love.